A Senate bill focused on transgender athletes moved forward on its way to becoming law in Texas. The bill would require transgender athletes to compete based on their gender on their original birth certificate. Supporters of the bill argue it keeps athletes safe from unfair competition. Opponents say it's unfairly targeting the transgender community. Fox 4's Lynn Ann Wynn has our story tonight. Lynn Ann.
Steve, about 20 people testified in today's hearing. Many were against Senate Bill 3.
This incessant bullying by the Texas legislature is directly harming children. We know this, you know this. Why are we here?
Frustration among many who've testified in multiple hearings on the issue of transgender athletes. Testimony at some points getting contentious.
Is that you're just bad people. That's the only conclusion I can come to at this point. You just keep doing things that you know are causing kids to want to kill themselves.
About 20 people signed up to testify, but according to those against SB 3, many more chose instead to boycott Tuesday's hearing after their experiences at previous hearings.
It's way too painful for them to be disrespected over and over and over again by being calling by the wrong pronouns, by making them feel like they're less than humans.
Supporters of SB 3 argue some transgender students may have an unfair biological advantage if they are allowed to compete outside of the gender assigned to their birth certificates. They believe SB 3 promotes fair and equitable sports and safety.
This is about protecting biological girls and women. Please vote yes on SB 3. Please, because it's a man against a woman. It's called assault and battery.
Others say they worry birth certificate changes may be used to cheat the system.
So literally a 15-year-old male today could determine that their identity is different than what their biological sex is, make application to a physician, actually be interviewed. Physician can support letter to the court can issue an order. That certificate would then been changed and they would be competing in their non-biological sex at the UIL levels.
But transgender advocates say these scenarios are imaginary, and there have been no documented reports of transgender athletes using such tactics to dominate in competition.
To assert that somebody would go through that process and then, one, swear under oath before a court that the information that they're presenting is true and valid just to compete in a sports team is preposterous.
And despite the majority today testifying against SB 3, the bill passed favorably through committee and will now move on to the full Senate.